So best practices. Okay, I have got a list of questions here. I'm going to do my best to answer your questions on what are the tactical um, best practices that we are seeing in the market or we're putting in place for clients today. So the first question here is, okay, what is the best practice for using ChatGPT to enhance personalized lead generation? All right, this is a great one, okay? So there's a bunch of different ways that ChatGPT can help you personalize your outreach. And I like to think of the difference between, and actually I stole this from Katie. Katie talks about the difference between personalization and relevancy. Okay, relevancy, and I'm going to talk about relevancy. What I think ChatGPT is very good at is being very relevant. Okay, and what relevancy is, and again, we call it the triangle. Let me see if I can I might be able to flash this on my screen real quick here. Let me try to do something real quick here. All right, so check this out. So this is what we call kind of the triangle, which is this concept that we've developed that, we're inputting with our clients as well. That really just helps to make it very simple. So if you ask me the question, okay, Jake, how do you personalize for prospecting? This is how you do it. Okay, the first ingredient is sub-industry. This is where a lot of people start getting it wrong. Probably 90% of people are missing this piece. They say, we work with manufacturing. No, you work with industrial manufacturing and specifically heavy equipment manufacturing. ChatGPT, and if you don't know what the sub-industry is of that company, no problem, ChatGPT will tell you, right? So sub-industry, what does somebody in that industry with this job title, what are the trends that are happening that we, the other part of it, that we can solve for? Trends in the sub-industry, the people in that, and it's not about how you help companies, it's how you help that person. I help VPs of operations in heavy equipment machine manufacturing solve for one of the biggest trends out there, as a part of this. If you want to know how to use ChatGPTs to do more relevancy-based messaging, that's how you do it. That's what I got for you on that front. Okay, next question. So that's how you do personalize. Again, don't try to get it to write emails. It sucks at writing emails. It is epic at writing 2 or 3 industry trend snippets, okay? So that's what you tell it to do. Here's the company. Here's what I'm trying to do. I need trends in their industry, trends for this job title, and then triangulate it with how we can potentially solve for that person and the trends that they're most likely facing. All right? That, my friends, is how you personalize tactically custom GPT or Perplexity or Claude or whatever you want to do. Okay. And feel free, if you guys want, drop your questions in here. If you're like, man, Jake, like maybe, if you want to drop a sales challenge in there, like, hey, man, like this is a challenge that I'm facing right now. Like, can ChatGPT help me with that? I'll tell you if I know. Okay, next up, question. What is the best practice for using ChatGPT to handle complex research? Okay, let's go. So one of the custom GPTs, for those of you who have signed up, is Annual Report Summarizer. And so again, I'm going to give you probably a couple research-based use cases, with this being the first one. So the first is it is very, very good at parsing out annual or quarterly reports. And so what you can ask it to do is you say, okay, you are a sales rep for my company. Here's a link to my website. Here's a link to our product set. I sell to this persona, CMOs. Here, upload the annual report and say based on, and we have just, we have at the custom GPT that we have, it just prompts you, it says upload the annual report, and it's already been kind of given the instructions on the back end of what to do with it. But if you want to do it kind of like the prompty way, is you'll say, hey, based on the CMO of this company that I'm trying to book a meeting with, here's the quarterly report. What are the top 3 things that they're talking about, that are relevant to what we do? So what it's really good at is not just doing the research and the insights, but it can also, again, kind of mash that up with how you might be able to solve. So that to me is a really great one. So if it's a bigger company, you can do the annual report, you could do the investor relations page, you could do the blog page, but think of summarizing data for me and then giving me some ideas of what I could potentially highlight. So that is one of my favorite ones. Another one I'll talk about, how can I use ChatGPT to handle, I'm going to call this like a sales objection, right? That's my kind of another use case. ChatGPT is really good at being a thought partner. And again, I think a lot of people don't think of it that way. You don't think of it as like, you've got like a little buddy on your shoulder, my little AI buddy, that I can just chat it up with. I can be like, hey man, I've got a meeting with the CFO. I know they're using our competition. Here's a link to our competition and our competition's product page. Here's my company and my product page. What are the top three things that I should make sure to bring up, and top three things I should make sure to avoid in my next meeting with this company? Right. So think of objections. A lot of what I think you can do, one, you can ask it on the fly, sure. But what you can also do is say, hey, what am I not thinking of? And so it's, it's not necessarily research, but it's helping me to process the information that I would usually just be kind of doing in my head. So just think of that, right? So objection handling, another one. So I love that use case. It's one of my favorite. And I love these. These questions are great. All right, next question. What are the best practices for using ChatGPT to structure personalized demos? Ooh, that's a good one. I think it's a similar use case around scenario planning, right? Where what you can do, okay, here's a really quick one. One of the custom GPTs, and again, look, you can use our custom GPTs or not. You can do this on your own. It's fine. It's called Meeting Analyzer. Okay, and Meeting Analyzer does a insane job of breaking down your call for you. So if I wanted to do a personalized product demo, what I would probably do is I go to Meeting Analyzer, I would dump in my discovery call, and I would say, I'm putting together a personalized demo for this call. I want you to highlight to me the top two or three things I should highlight in our product. Here's a link to the products page as well, too. And based on what they said, what are possibly some product features I should skip over because they're not a priority? Boom. Think about that. I want you guys to think about if how much tighter your demo would be if you literally uploaded your discovery call. What are the top three? And here's a link to our product page. So then it'll go scrape the product page. What are the top three products I should definitely talk about in order of importance based on what they said? And are there two or three products that they really didn't talk about being interested in? How much better is that going to be? I realize I got my validation ale. Shout out Santa Barbara. They've got a lot of gluten. I'm allergic to gluten. And so they've got a lot of gluten-free beers. So if you ever go to Santa Barbara, check out Validation Ale. Big fan, big fan. So that's it. That's how I would personalize a product demo tactically with ChatGPT. Okay, next question up. Ooh, good. This is a good one too. How to use ChatGPT to personalize a statement of work. You know what we should do? Why don't we just do this? Like, why don't we just start doing some of these, right? Like, enough of just like Jake talking about it. Let's just pull up ChatGPT and like, let's just start, fucking going with this. Sorry, I cussed. I'm trying not to cuss anymore, or as much. So let's just start to do some of these. Enough of this, this stuff. So how would I use ChatGPT to customize a statement of work? Pretty simple. I would probably use, which one of these would I use? The problem is I don't have a meeting summarized, because what I'd probably do is I'd probably click on the meeting summarizer and I do the same thing. I would say, hey, I'm putting together a statement of work. What are the top three things I should make sure to include in the statement of work? And, what are some key points I should bring up? So, and by the way, if not, you could do this as well here. You could say, here's a link you could just upload your transcript here. I could, from that, I could, what do you call it? Then say, okay, look at this call. I'm putting together a statement of work. Like, what should I do? So yeah, that would be probably what I would do for that one. All right, next question. Implementing into training for new hires. What is my best practice? Okay, let's just do this. And again, we are developing. So if you've already signed up for the custom GPTs, get ready. Brian and I, again, we were in the lab last night. Like I said, maybe I was having a couple glasses of wine. I think he was having a non-alcoholic beer because he had to do the work, obviously. And we're developing a couple of new custom GPTs for all of you. Account plan GPT. So you literally can just give it your account plan and it'll prompt you to fill it out. It'll be like, great, revenue target, and it will build you an account plan. It's going to be awesome. And the other is this one, is a flavor of this. So how can you use it to train new hires? Well, let's talk about how you could do it. You could say, I work at, let's say, who's a good let's do Okta. I don't know. I've always picked Okta. They're just like in my head now. I work at Okta.com and am trying to find ways to integrate ChatGPT. GPT into new hire onboarding for sales. Help me build, a persona-based trivia game that they can play to learn our persona faster. And again, this is just one application, as fast as possible, right? Getting up to speed on the persona is one of my absolute favorites, and you can actually create a custom GPT. Oh God, see, this is so dumb. Now it's going to remember that I work at Okta. I'm like, no, don't remember that. Just so you guys know, you really need to clean out your memory. The memory thing is like here, I'll just show you guys. It remembers all kinds of dumb stuff that's like really, again, it's like is working. It's like it thinks that I work for like every company basically, apparently. So just make sure you clear this out because it gets a lot of noise, it's junk in it. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. Let me just clear memory. It's good to just do this every once in a while. It's kind of like your cache. So again, look, here's the persona overview, right? Here's the new hire, right? And now I could say, great, build me. So here's how I should do it. And then I could say, great, build me the multiple choice questions, right? What is a top security term? Like, again, like it literally gives you the answer. So create real trivia games, for people. So onboarding, no brainer, use it for this. Okay. I got a couple more in here. Yeah, feel free, like I said, if you've got questions. Let's talk about training. So how can I implement ChatGPT to help training? I have actually here, you know what? I think we might have I might have a little cheat sheet here that I can just copy and paste this prompt in from. Yeah, here we go. Yep, there it is. Okay. I'm just going to give you guys, I'm going to cheat here. We've got one in the lab here. I'm an SDR. I want to learn about specific industry pain points, and I want to focus on the first industry I want to learn about is regional banks. Come up with some random ones today. For the identified pain point areas, what are 3 talking points? Provide the answers in a table. And I want to know about we'll call it the I don't know, general manager in regional banks, right? Regional banks. This is meant to be just like a series of prompts. That's why I'm just like kind of cheating. And that should be good. And now what I'm going to do after is like, okay, teach me about the industry, right? So again, right? Okay, here's some industry trends. Oh yeah, because again, if it still thinks I work at Okta, God damn it. Okay, well this is helpful, right? So you can see here, it's like, oh, Jake works at Okta again, as a part of this. I guess did I put that in there? Oh yeah, because again, it's keyed in on what I have. God, it's getting so good. So again, I want you to just think about this. It immediately does this. Again, here's the typical job descriptions. So again, if I wanted to build, and now let's do this. It's still going. It's so good. Again, look at these, like how it just triangulates. Identity management solutions can streamline security protocols. Like, hey, is that top of mind? Unify customer identity. And now create a 15-question trivia game, giving me question by question, giving question one by one, and then the answer and next question to help me learn this. To check this out. So again, how can you use it for consistent? What is one of the primary security? How about this? Do it again, but multiple choice every time. That's probably a little easier. All right, here we go. All right, number 1. I'm gonna guess B. All right. Yay, we got it right. Okay. Which of the following often impacts regional bank cybersecurity? Oh, shoot. SOX? I mean, that one says cybersecurity guidelines. So I think I'm just going to guess that. I don't know. Okay, all right, that was kind of cheating. Okta can help regional banks improve. This is so dope. Just imagine if you had a rep. Okay, I want you guys to just think of this use case. Imagine if you had a rep that was doing this. How much faster could you ramp a salesperson? Like, this is real, my friends. Like, this is very, very, very real. Like, how much faster could you get up to speed on a new industry, on what the persona cares about in that industry, all that stuff? How much faster can you get up to speed on that? Right? So it looks like, yeah, it looks like I got time for one more best practice. So that's training and onboarding, and just general training, which I hope is helpful for people. All right, last one we'll take here is, yeah, let's do this one, which is um, how to build, or what's the one what's a custom GPT that I would build, if I said what's the one that will move the needle for me like really quickly. For those of you that don't realize it, in ChatGPT, well, here, why don't I just share my screen? So we're back to my trivia game. So for those of you that don't kind of know, you can build, any of you can build custom GPTs too, right? Explore GPTs. You go to create. The one that I would so you just go to create. It's really easy here. You just go to configure. You just put in the instructions. You can upload files. I turn off the Dolly one for a lot of these because I'm not actually trying to create an image. And so all of you can just go mess around with this. I was at a conference speaking last Thursday, and a woman in marketing had raised her hand and said, like, she built one of these in like under an hour for their content strategy. So this is how you build a custom GPT. You can just type in here, what does it do? What should it avoid doing, etc. What's the one that I would build if I was a rep? One is the discovery call prep one that we built would probably be one of the first ones, which is basically building a custom GPT to help you do the prep, all that work that goes into it. The other one that I would probably build, again, I'm thinking about impact on revenue here, and kind of use cases, would be that value prop creator one. Our custom GPT is called Help Me Book a Meeting With. And it, I would basically put in the instructions like, hey, your job is to help me as an SDR or salesperson find very relevant sub-industry trends. So not big macro industry, but get very, very specific to their industry. I want you to prompt me. That's another thing. Whenever you're building these, tell it to prompt you. I want you to ask me questions one by one. Help me to make it better. And then once you feel I've exhausted kind of your abilities, then give me kind of a final output. So those are probably the two. I'd probably build one to help me with discovery prep, and then I'd build one that would help me build value props to prospect more effectively. So those are the kind of the two that I would build if I had to build one in the next 30 minutes or something. So all right, y'all, that's what I got.